Good evening, everyone. My name is Tiana Piles, co-founder of BSTARS, Breastfeeding Sisters that are receiving support. Hello, everyone. I know it's been a minute. Oh my goodness, August was quite the month, and so a lot of our organizations, of course, still busy in this work, but need to take care of a little bit of self-care as well. So thank you for your patience with me. To this evening, I'm joined by Jania Metna Williams from Mahogany Milk. I'm so glad and happy. This is a long time in coming. How are you this evening?
Thank you, thank you, thank you, Tiana. This has been a long time coming. Thanks for having me tonight.
Awesome. All right. Well, we're going to keep it nice and short and sweet. Before we get started, I want to thank you for being one of the Black breastfeeding organizations that's
Yay!
with us in solidarity for the Million Milk March.
Yes.
Right now, we are still involved in the cool down.
Right.
Nothing really competitive. We're just still getting some steps in, just for self care and for fun. But I want to really thank you and appreciate you for doing that. This was, of course, your effort under pandemic situation.
Yes.
And you all just rose to the challenge and just supported. And we at BSTARS really truly appreciate that sisterhood. It's just, I don't know, it's amazing how we work as Black women.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
so again, I appreciate you. So what I would like for you to do is please share with us some information
Mhm.
about yourself first,
Okay.
and why this work is so important to you and how it came to be Mahogany Milk. But first, about yourself, please.
Yeah. So, again, my name is Jania Mitnall Williams. I am a mother of four children. I got into breastfeeding after the birth of my first son back in 2007 because the hospital was actually changing their marketing to kind of reflect more so of the community. And that picture that they took of us, of me nursing him, they were looking for a Black family who was nursing, hung on the walls until February of this year, in fact, because the hospital moved. I'm sure it would have stayed. But
Wow.
when the hospital moved, they actually gave me the photo because I was the first Black lactation consultant to come and work in that hospital system back in 2015. So I've been with the hospital system a little over 5 years in the role of lactation. And it was just mothers who looked like me would come up to me and ask me breastfeeding questions. And I shouldn't even just say mothers, like breastfeeding families who looked like us would come up and say, I saw your picture. Can you tell me more? And I decided to merge my passions from speech pathology and breastfeeding. And I want to go to school and I obtained a master's in health and wellness with a concentration in human lactation. And when I
Mm.
visit for the IBCLC after getting my CLC, and this is what I do, and this is what I love. And then recently, I got the chance to establish the second Pathway 2 program at a HBCU to bring more Black and Brown and culturally aware lactation consultants into the field.
That is awesome and amazing. First, congratulations on
Thank
your
you.
professional path being an IBCLC of color, which we definitely need more representation. Girl, that's amazing. My goodness. So your picture was on the wall to the hospital move.
Yeah,
That
to
is
the hospital move.
wow. Isn't amazing how with this, like, the choices we are making for our families,
Mhm.
our children, impact our communities, and we are technically not doing it for all that, but
Right.
it's amazing how God works and just
Mhm.
and people in your path and certain things that are not just your own. It's
Right.
to be shared,
It
and
is.
it's like, okay, and then making a career out of it. That is amazing. You must talk more about this Pathway to program, because that is awesome and very, very cool.
Definitely, definitely. So we started our first cohort this fall semester, and we have 11 students. We only had our application out for 2 short weeks because we had to sit for our actual accreditation visit in the midst of a health
Mm,
pandemic. So we were
mm,
even able to do that virtually. And after we found out we got it, we had to hit the ground running, get students enrolled. We had over 30 students interested in applying to the program. And currently we have a wait list for next year of 35 people. And the application doesn't even go out until February of 2021. So we are very excited. We have our local hospitals in the support of our health departments as clinical sites, and then 2 other hospitals are going to join with us now for the spring semester, because they're like, we need to have more representation. So I love how this whole story played out. It's like what I wanted to do for so long, and now it's happening.
Yay. Oh, awesome. Okay, so it sounds like even as the women of color are going through this program, there are places for them to find employment after.
Definitely. And then some of the hospital systems have already reached out like, hey, when do they graduate? When are they sitting for this exam?
What a blessing. I know sometimes here in Memphis, we find that we can't find too many opportunities for employment.
Right.
So that's the thing too, because, we do this because we love it, but
We love it.
and we also have to feed our families.
That part.
So, right. So that is wonderful and great. I will have to be talking to you more about that part.
Yes.
So for Mahogany Milk, services, I know we start right with this,
Right.
What services do you all provide?
So at Mahogany Milk, it started off as a support group and a private practice, but right now we're focusing more on just community support now that we have Black and Brown lactation consultants within the hospital system. So we are just 100% offering support to breastfeeding families to help support, encourage, and normalize breastfeeding. We have virtual meetings now that there's a pandemic on the first and third Saturdays of every month from 11:30 until 12:30. And we had a meeting last week because once or twice a year we bring in breastfeeding partners. So like any support people, husbands, boyfriends, grandmas, we bring them all in there and have this roundhouse conversation because we know the holidays are coming, and it's like, how are you going to support this person? And like all these crazy statements like, you're still breastfeeding your baby? Can we give your baby this turkey leg? No. So that's what we're doing with Mahogany Milk.
Okay.
We're also in the process of turning into a nonprofit.
That's awesome. Oh, girl. Oh, congratulations. All right. What I thought I would do, being, with what we've been doing virtually now, because we used to have our meetings once a month with topics. And so you brought up a great thing, because I was going to talk to you about there's a few, breastfeeding issues. So as our moms are tuning in, it's the same information anywhere that we're talking. And so now with these platforms, we can have these national conversations, but it's all the same. So you mentioned about the holidays coming up. So grandmama somebody want to give somebody a turkey leg, somebody want to give some green liquor,
right.
A pot of green liquor. It's like, okay, so how do you suggest that a new mom taking her baby finally to this family gathering, nervous about it, want to share the baby, social space and all this year, but wants to share the baby, but at the same time wants to be honored and respected in her breastfeeding journey? What are some suggestions that you would offer her?
So what I do, I like to sandwich things. And so what I mean by that is, hold your ground. This is your baby, but this is also what I've learned, especially in the Black and Brown community. These are teaching moments, because so many people in our families have not breastfed, and it wasn't lack of education. It's lack of them just not even knowing how breastfeeding works in general. And so it's, this is my baby. Thank you so much for the offer. However, did you know that my baby only needs breast milk for the first 6 to 12 months of life because the AAP says so? And then move forward with that. And then that sometimes sparks a conversation. And you never know who's listening to you. They may have younger relatives around who will remember that conversation when it's time for them to have their kids. And they're like,
absolutely. Right. Yep. Cousin Jania.
Exactly.
When I was younger, cousin Jania was spouting up all this information. Let me give her a call because she knows what she's doing. Yeah. Some of our moms feel like they're them being the pioneers of reclaiming, because once again, somewhere in your history, you're breastfed. So there's these generations that we're trying to reclaim breastfeeding in our families. And so it can be almost a standoff situation, if you don't prepare yourself.
Right.
And of course, you don't want to seem like the bad guy,
No.
all the stuff like this. But yeah, you're right. You have to prepare yourself, arm yourself for these teachable moments, and know that you're impacting generations of your family, even if it's that little cousin who comes over and catches a little glance of your breast at this baby at the end, but the world didn't fall apart,
Right.
And it's and what how do you know this baby's getting anything?
Oh, yeah.
All that. Oh my goodness.
Mm-hmm.
Did you have to experience that yourself?
I actually didn't. We have a really good setup in our families where like everyone kind of breastfeeds in like both sides of the family. So that was one battle we did not have.
Yes, we are trying to get to that. Yes,
right.
Girl, my family is like that. However, my children's side, oh my goodness, we went for actually it was an introduction, and yeah, breastfeeding was very new to their side, and so that was a teachable moment, and it's just interesting because you it's like there's a part of you that just wants to be nice and not necessarily give in, but like try to I don't know, what can we do to make. No, he doesn't take a bottle. No, he doesn't need not it's like, oh, she's standoffish. You're already like new to the family and all. Like, but we stood our ground and then extended nursing. So the first time was like, okay, he's a baby now, because my baby's fed till they were 3. So it's like you got a grown man on your team. It's like, wait a minute.
That's when I hit him with the, well, do you know in all the other countries this is actually normal still?
Yes.
And they're like, what? And then this is when I hit them with the, like, we were at my parents' house over the weekend, and my son is still nursing. He's 2. My little nephew still wants to nurse. He's getting ready to turn 2 in January. And I was like, hey, Ma, do you know in some countries, in cultures, the grandma relactates so that the daughters can go back to work? And she was looking like, nah, y'all good. I was like, yeah, that part.
No, that's a good one. That is a real good one. Oh my goodness. Speaking of baby cousin yesterday, is he breastfed?
Yeah, baby cousin's breastfed. Baby cousin is breastfed.
Awesome. Oh, girl. I was jealous. I was like, she getting all those good hugs and smelling the baby.
I know. And that was the thing. Yesterday, I was sitting here. In fact, she just texted me to let me know she was home. And it was like he was nurse, but he's in like that nosy stage because he's 7 months and he's like popping off and like looking like, people.
Yes. Yep. But it's like, you got to have a little patience through it and realize. And it's like, it's not a bottle. They can't take this with them. And if they really want that milk, they will learn some patience. Those things that breastfeeding helps to develop the children, patience and focus, because they have to do that. All right. As we wrap up, how can you be reached? And on all of social media,
my platforms.
Yes.
And of course I have a child coming in here because like I have nothing else to do.
Of course not. No.
Right. I was like, there's a whole parent that you got past to come all the way down this hall. But people can certainly reach me. I am at Mrs. Williams with the Sons on Instagram. I am at Mahogany Milk, and that's run by our social media director. But she passes messages to me. Also, I can be reached on Facebook at Jania Mittenall Williams, and then they can follow us on Facebook at Mahogany Milk. And then for breastfeeding support, chest feeding support, they can follow us at Mahogany Milk Support Group, because that is a closed support group.
Okay, awesome. Awesome. Okay, I want to share something with you real quick. Sure. And as I do this, I see your shirt, girlfriend.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you so much once again. Yay. So I still needed your top 3 for your playlist.
Oh.
Do this because I wanted to show you, if you didn't see, we talked about it months ago. Girl, isn't this year going by so quickly?
Yes.
Let's see. Let's do entire screen. All right. And then
I'm like, what is this?
All right. So okay, you see that. You see
yes.
So did you see
I did see them. You know what? That was the week that like I went on like social media like hiatus because I had to get my life together. But I did see that. Thank you so much for sharing those.
So welcome. Oh, look, that girl. That is like passionate and sexy and like, oh girl, thank you for allowing us to share those moments with everyone.
Thank you for sharing them.
Girl, hey, because Labor Day for us means a little something,
different.
Yeah, yes. So I'm gonna stop sharing.
Right.
Give me this playlist.
My playlist. Look, y'all think I'm probably like lame. So first of all, let me tell you how I forgot to turn my app on. Like I would forget to turn it on and just be walking because I got to get all the kids together. And I'm like, yes, I should have turned that on. But as I'm walking, like we would walk as a family. So there were only certain times when I was by myself. And I love music, absolutely do. But what I find helps me a little bit more is listening to podcasts. So I listen to podcasts.
Oh, that's great. That's just real great.
So like I can give you my top 3 podcasts real quick. So I listen to, it's actually some little sisters of mine. I'm a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. They have a podcast geared towards mothers, especially mothers of color, called Babies and Bellinis. And then it's hilarious. And then I listen to Nikki Killings' podcast, Dim Black Mamas. Absolutely. I listen to her podcast too.
Yes. Shout out to Nikki.
And then around the same time, typically I listen to Getting Grown, but Michelle Obama dropped her podcast on Spotify right when we started this. So I started listening to her podcast, but like those are my top podcasts that I listen to. I'm a podcast girl.
All right. I mean, what a very efficient use of time. Look at you.
Right. Always learning.
That is wonderful. Well, I thank you for sharing that. I'm looking at my little questions and make sure I didn't forget anything.
Yeah.
We did good. Thank you so much for
Thank you for having me today.
Oh, absolutely, girl. We're gonna be even better next year.
Yes.
Hopefully, God willing, as things get better, whenever
we can hopefully move like right onto different phases.
Yes, we will hopefully, God willing, be able to see each other in person again.
I know.
I look forward to all that. But in the meantime, I appreciate you.
I appreciate you too.
Stay encouraged in all the wonderful work you're doing. And we'll be finding other ways to stay connected until then.
For sure. Thanks for having me this evening, Tiana, because in real mom life, like I got a birthday party parade like in 30 minutes.
Well, happy day to your son, and congratulations to you. As his moms, that's a big deal for us as well.
Right. Got to get you to your friend's stuff. So, have a good one, Tiana.
All right, you take care.
You take care too. Bye. You're welcome. Bye.